good morning, and good morning. It is 9 o'clock. I hope you're coming in. I hope you're here. I hope you had a good last couple of days since Wednesday. Today is Friday, and if some people don't make it today, I know the reason why. Today is the beginning of Labor Day weekend, and most people are probably making some preparation to either cook, go be with family, maybe travel a little bit. They said that there's an uptick in the number of people flying. Well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be home. I'm going to rest a little bit, have a good time. I'm going to have a good time. Somebody will feed me. And if not, I'll feed myself. I will definitely feed myself. But I'm excited this morning because this particular day just kind of provoked me to really look at the fact of we have ideas. Some of us never live our ideas. Before we know it, Labor Day is here and our labor was given away to somebody else, not for ourselves. We gave our labor away. How many of you give labor away? Most of us have most of our lives. The younger people probably have a new way of approaching labor. They say, well, look, the less they are involved with me, the less I will be involved with them. I think I talked a couple of weeks ago about the fact that, how many people will get to retire with 35 and 40 years at one location with a good, retirement package to include you maybe stocks and bonds and maybe key to a room that you'll never open. But they always would give you things that were symbolic of the fact that you worked for them and it was stellar. What you did for them couldn't be paid any more than what they gave you, but they earned a lot from your labor, your ideas, your way of doing life. And so I woke up this morning with the idea that we need to do more with our own ideas for ourselves. How many of us do it? I'm hoping my girlfriend is watching this morning because I'm going to show you something that I received in the mail yesterday. And I'm excited about these because both, these are her magazine. This was from an idea. This is what an idea would do to you and do for you when you put action. Good morning, Joan. When you put action, okay, and steps and processing and what I would say being creative. And this is what an idea would do. She created this magazine called The Other Woman. The other woman doesn't mean a woman that is, the third in a relationship. Oh no. Oh no. It's when the other woman all of a sudden takes over the woman that she was. Okay. So for myself, when I decided I was going to write a book, get a doctorate, for you, what was it? What was your area of where you made a change? You're going to be a poet. You're going, those things are called the other woman experience. It's not anything derogatory. It's when you turn into yourself. How many of us have trouble turning into ourselves? We're so busy turning to others, giving of our time, our energy, giving away all of our talent and our ideas. So, The Other Woman is this beautiful magazine, cover to cover, and some people took a little offense at how this is, but she was just showing this is an anatomy, but it's made as a flower because we are flowers. We are very flowerful. And this one is called Her New Birth. What happens with a new birth? Don't we come up with new ideas or a new addition has been added to the texture of who we are and what we're all about? Absolutely. And it's absolutely filled with so many things. Like this opening statement says, it is my mission to help you discover the silenced and often suppressed woman resting within and infuse a desire to live courageously without reservation or regrets. This magazine is awesome. And it just is just wonderful. And my girlfriend, her name is Lavender Shedrick Williams, and Can't really see her picture here, but this is her picture. You can order these magazines off of Amazon. I got mine in yesterday. In fact, I ordered last edition and this edition. But it just talks about the rebirth. What happens when we have a rebirth? And here's another thing. It says how to become an emotionally, mentally strong woman. You know, if we've been beaten down by society or relationships or your children or your job, when do you find the mental strength to stand back up again? Because sometimes we've laid down so long. When we get up, we're dizzy. We're dizzy. We don't know how to move forward. But anyway, she has all types of women in here from all walks of life, of where she has just given them a voice. Here's Misunderstood Moment. And Misunderstood is a comedian that is really, really good, absolutely funny. And she gives her story. She gives laughter is the best medicine, is it not? Sometimes we need to laugh more. I think I'm going to put on my little light here, my second light, because it seems a little dark here today. Usually I don't have to put it on, but I'm going to put it on. Give me 1 second. How are you today, Joan? Good to see you in the space. Good to see you. But I know by this being a holiday weekend, a lot of people are traveling and doing some stuff. But I'm going to have it out there. They'll be able to look at this later. But anyway, she has Memories of a Golden Girl. You know, just giving testimony to women, you know, just looking at who we are. But here's a wonderful thing. When do y'all, oops, let me put it in there. Do you know that emoji? That's me. So I am a contributor to this magazine. It says a word from the wordsmith enthusiast. That's what she calls me. And I used hubris, which is a word that I've done through our own sessions. And I talk about it being something that is just how we are made up. I need my glasses on. Hold on. I'm doing well, thank you. Good. Hey, Ardelia, how are you, sweetie? It says that sometimes when we use our hubris, which is excessive pride and self-confidence and conceit, we may be haughty, unique, big-headed, rare, imperious, and self-important. So those are all the words that I use, but I love the fact that she gives women platforms. You know, if you have a submission, you can certainly submit it to her. And I say, get a copy of the book and look at it. And then here's the latest issue. This one was the one previously. This is the spring and summer of 2023. So this is the latest issue of The Other Woman. And she just does worthy of the best things in life, aren't we? Sometimes we don't think we are. We've kind of lost touches of what we should be. Not older, but better. These are just some samples of just good stuff. Lieutenant J.G. Williams. I mean, she even gives testimony from people who are in service or people who are doing life their way. And sometimes that makes it very difficult. You know, dealing with the life as a stepmother of someone else's children, but they become yours because you know what you need to do. Thank you, boss, in case you're your own boss. Thanking yourselves, you know, just absolutely wonderful. You know, the power of femininity. Just if you can think about it, do it for yourselves. Really, really good. But it all started with an idea. I remember her calling me, telling me she was going to do this. I said, really? Okay. And look at it now. She has people that are involved in not just the writing, but, you know, reading her books all over the country. So could you do that too and look at your idea? So that's the word this morning, is idea. And when we have an idea, sometimes we take our time acting on it. But anyway, I found this this morning. You know, I'm always looking for something. And it says, in the end, she became more than what she expected. She became the journey. And like all journeys, she did not end. She just simply changed directions and kept going. How many of us have done something well and we get so excited about that when it's over, we climax and we can't move anymore. We think that's the last thing we've done. Nope, that's just your starting point to do something else. Go on, get it done. So it says, a poem about creativity. It says, all I want to do is delight, throw the mask off, not care, not worry, not explain what I mean, nor define what I do. Just be whatever I feel like being. Just relish in the energy of this moment. I want to be so alive that I feel like the moon, throwing tides just for fun, creating because it's what I'm here to do. I want to love the color of orange just because it craves delight too. I want to cry because I'm in love with the miracle of being alive. I don't want to feel like I'm striving. I want to feel like I am flying. I want to write the poetry, read the poetry, and breathe the poetry. I want my life to be beautiful, a messy mosaic that even I can't help but fall in love with. Hold on one. Got to turn page. Create, create. I feel the winds of fury blowing through me. Even my bones are smiling. I hear my veins pulsing with desire, like branches dancing in the breezes. Wildflower flowers are waving, and the ocean blossoms with a new idea. Crazy and beautiful is how I want my life to feel. Let it be. Let it be. I write to be free. I read to tap in. I absorb the poetry, and so it shall be. And now I am this energy. I am this energy. Good morning. Good morning. Wasn't that good? Oh my goodness. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Maurice. I'm telling you, the poem about creativity. We should all be creative beings. We were given some things that we could use for wherever we go, whatever we do. But we always have to tap into ourselves to bring it out. We have to sometimes stop looking out and look in. Stop doing so much for others that we never get around to doing for ourselves. I think it would be nice on our epitaph that someone said she was a good servant. I do want that, because according to the life that I'm living says, and we shall serve. So I want to serve, and that's what I do. But I also occasionally must know the importance as an I must also serve myself. I must reach down into my pockets, into my ideas, into my heart, through my head, and work on those things that I feel they're given as these opportunities for success. How do I do that? I must do that by coming up with an idea that makes sense to me. My idea may not make sense to somebody else. There's so many people who will tell you no. They'll tell you no because they didn't think of it. They'll tell you no because they don't want you to do it. It's going to take time away from them. They don't want you to do it because it doesn't mean anything to them. Do it for you. If there's something you want to do it for you. So I'm going to ask you this morning, are you stuck? Are you stuck on an idea that you should be working on? You know, I know it's Labor Day weekend, but most of the time Labor Day, which came about years ago, under the umbrella of, we're going to give you a day off. You know, we're going to honor the fact that you work for others. How about honoring the fact that you work for yourself and start out with an idea and run that idea up and down and around just for you, nobody else. You know, each of you have a creativity, or you're creative in multiple things. Work in your areas of specialty. You know, I just believe in it. I really am. The older I get, the more creative I get. You know, not to say that I wasn't able to tap into my creativity earlier, but I was too busy. You know, we raised families. We worked for people for years. You know, we volunteer with our churches or with our communities, our community organizations. And then we wake up one day and say, but I had an idea and I should have done that. I should be an author. I should be a teacher. I should be whatever it is. Get into you. Understand that you have your own importance. You are the I, okay? You are the I, the one. And, as I said, they're going to write on there that you were a good soldier. You were a good person. You did a lot of good things. I don't know what that happened with that it did that. But I'm here to tell you that you should really look at what's important for you. So an idea says it's a thought or suggestion as to a possible course of action. It's the aim of the person. It's your plan. It's your design, your scheme. And notice I keep making it personal, yours. I have mine, you have yours. It says your project or projects, your proposal. It's funny. There's a building downtown. It's a huge building. And, I was talking to somebody and they said, what, we're looking for someone who can run an event down here for us that will be called, basically they wanted it to be, music on the plaza, party on the plaza. So I said, oh, that sounds wonderful, party on the plaza. So I took my company ideas out and I proposed it. I gave him a proposal. I told him what I could do, how I would set it up. I would make it where vendors would come. The vendors didn't have to pay to be on the plaza because they were just trying to get more exposure to that plaza. So I made it up where I said, well, vendors don't have to pay, but they will come. Whatever they make, they will take with them. But they can also do their own advertisement by how something tastes, how something feels, what something looks like. That's them. And then all I asked them to do is you pay for the band. So they paid for the band. They paid for my services, and I set it all up. That was an idea. It started with the fact that I knew I had the ability to do it. I just had to explain it in a proposal as how it could be done. And it was successful. It was successful. They wanted more people on the plaza, but we were also competing with other things downtown. So, I said, well, you also need signage. You need other things, which was above the pay level that they were giving me. So everybody said, well, when are you going to come back with that? Well, they changed leadership. And, with leadership, ideas change. So the idea went away, but I got to do, I was able to do 3 of them. And out of the 3, they were good. They were good. The bands were off the chain, So anyway, that's life, but it was an idea. How many of us deal with our ideas? What's in doubt to make it next? That's right. That's right. And when in doubt, we can't make it next. But identity is good. Identity is good. But I wrote for mine, ingenuity, the quality of being clever. That's my first I, And I know when we have an idea, we may recognize it as being a good idea. Somebody else may say it's not. But however, if it was given to you, check it out. And sometimes things are given to us for us to figure it out on what we would do next. Imagine, that's good. Illustrate, all of those, good. So ingenuity says the quality of being clever, original, that's why I liked it, and inventive. Many of you are inventive. You can come up with things, insight. That's true, because people will steal some of what you did and put it into their thing and act like they did it all. Sometimes we incite people by what we do. It says it always also, and ingenuity also talks about being innovative, having innovation, resourcefulness, and enterprise, something that you've set up. Like this book, The Other Woman, she's got, the person that does her front cover with her, he's over in England. So it doesn't matter where you can find what it is that you need, image. There you go, right there. We get what we get from the people that can give it to us. We make it our business to make it work if it's something of an idea that we really take stock in. It also talks about being artistry. Sometimes we don't even realize that we've really been given genius level, articulation skills to get stuff done. But because we are afraid to make the first step, the other steps never follow. We just don't do it. Not saying that we don't have the capability, just saying that we fall short. We fall short. Ingenuity also talks about the sharpness of something, the acumen, that would be cool, the acuity, the sharpness of something, the quickness, and the sophistication. I like that word, sophistication. The illusion. Oh, that's good. All those words are good. You always do. You all do such great work. When I move on in my word of idea, I talk about the idea being discernment. Discernment. Good morning, Miss Rosie. How are you doing, my friend? Love you. Today, our word is idea, like your daughter, who I talked about already, doing her book, The Other Woman, was given to her, and she walked out on it. And here it is, 2.5 years later, the book is doing really well. Okay, the magazine. Discernment is my D. And I said that it's the ability to judge well. Sometimes we have to be our judge and not let other people judge us. Plain and simple. Because if other people judge you, you're going to have doubt. If you judge yourself, judge it by what you've attempted to do, but not what you have not already tried. Judge it by what you've done. And that means you need to put the pedal to the metal. Get it done. Figure out how to do it. Fall short, do it again. Develop and detail, demonstrate, deliver. Very, very good. In fact, Debbie and Miss Joan had develop, deliver. That's a good one right there, because that would be discernment, deciding when it is, giving it a deadline. Absolutely. Sometimes we don't give ourselves deadlines. We live our lives by other people's deadlines. Has to be in, How about when you go online and you want to order something? What's it say? You got 48 hours. Or you got, or you got 45 minutes, 30 minutes to make this decision. Well, I don't like those. So those, I never order anything from them. If they only give me 30 minutes, there you go. I'm not interested in that. But discernment also means being, having the sensitivity of stuff, insight, perception, meaning, okay, I went down this road this far, but this needs something else. So now I'm going to go in a different direction. Realizing that you sometimes have to change course. It also talks about the shrewdness of something. Sometimes you have to be shrewd to get anything done, because people will stop you every time. They will be in your path. They will constantly be in the midst of you saying what I'm going to do. They're already out there talking about, you can't do it. You can't do it. Sounds stupid. Doesn't make sense, and that's when you have to assert yourself to say, I can do it. It was given to me. Cleverness, intelligence, sharpness, wisdom, all of those are your discernment to getting things through. And then it also talks about being aware of what you're doing. I feel that the best way you can move on in getting anything done is to use this word. It's erudition. Erudition is the quality of being and showing great knowledge. You need to be somebody who can, basically erudition. You need to be the person. What do you know? The quality of having or showing great knowledge, learning. So in order for you to do something, you may have to learn some things before you can carry them out. Sometimes we just fall a little short of knowing everything we can know or need to know. And sometimes even when we know a lot, we don't know enough. We still have to go out there, keep ourselves current. What else is there? Can we do this another way to make it work for us? So anyway, that makes it where it's, what is the learning of it, the scholarship of it, the scholarship level of it, the education that's required, the culture. Sometimes we need the culture, the culture of how something is coming about or coming for us. How do we do it? It talks about the intellect, the book learning that needs to be done, the insight. Many of us are very insightful. We are. And we don't even realize that we need to keep our insight just for us so that it makes sense. We may realize that there's just a way for us not to be as educated as we should be, And I don't want to be in a room and I'm teaching something and everybody in the room knows more than me. That's not good. You need to make sure that if you're going to teach something, you know how to do it. And if you're going to step out on an idea, know that idea in and out, the way you want to carry it out, how it's going. And that's how new ideas begin. That's how new trends begin, just because someone stepped out on an idea no one thought anything about. So it becomes, oh, the new thing is. So anyway, did you all have any E's? Did anybody have any E's? I see D. I don't see any E's. Obviously, educate would be good. Education would be good. Enlightenment would be good. Edification. So all of those are E words. Engineering, edit. Excuse me. All of those. Very good. And my last word, and I was trying to get through early today because I didn't want people to leave because they're already scheduled to start their trip, their vacation, or a particular dish for the weekend. But anyway, I wanted to make sure I got through this word. The next word I have, excuse me, for my A of idea is acumen. And acumen is the ability to make good judgments, and quick decisions. How many of us are good and quick? Sometimes I am. It depends on what it is I'm thinking about. But if it's an idea that I came up with, then that means I need to be as accurate as I can. And it says that you have to make sometimes a quick judgment about what it is you're going to do, typically in a particular domain. That means you know the area. Once again, there it is, acknowledge. Acknowledge would be good. Arrange would be great. It says that we should have this astuteness of the subject or the area, the specialty that we're working in. And we should be aware of how it should be carried out. Sometimes we're not. Acclaim, that's really good. How to look at is this of a certain acclaim, that we see it as. And it says also with the acumen, it says it should be a certain amount of shrewdness, meaning I'm not turning back. This way I'm going to do it. That's it. Agreeable. That's really good, Joan, too. Cleverness. Once again, that word cleverness appears again. When we have an idea, we might need to be clever, except we have to accept ourselves for what we've chosen to do. Other people may never accept what you do or what you did. The present and the past. They just don't get it. They're not going to worry about it. It's, yeah, she did that, Anne. Also, it talks about acumen being something of judgment. It's your personal judgment. And one of the things I try to do with Are You Stuck is ask you, what do you think? This is what Sandy thinks. This is what Dr. Winnie thinks. What do you think? Acumen means understanding and having a sense of what is common sense. What makes sense to you may not be as commonsensical to someone else. It just may not, but it's yours. It says discernment, wisdom, wit, let's see, ingenuity, insight, and intuition. So when we really look at taking on an idea, there's a lot of words that can be used to describe the fact that we've stepped out on our own ledge. It's sometimes scary being on a ledge by yourself, being on a branch that, no one's been on it. It looks sturdy because you're on it and you kind of set up all of the support for it to go out all the way to the edge and make it see where it can be flown, where you can stand on it to be just as solid as the rest of the tree. And so that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But sometimes there is some scariness to it, so we have to realize that life will give us whatever we may or may not want to do by other people's standards. But then you have to talk about, but what about my standards? What else do I want? What else can I see for myself? And it's hard. It says, so here's a couple of questions. It says, what idea do you have that you have not worked on currently? Anybody got an idea? Just say yes if you do. You don't have to tell me what the idea is. Say yes. I have several. One of my ideas is to finish 3 books that I have started. It's my idea. I need to get it done. And the other thing says, how long have you had these ideas or an idea? Some people will say that they have had their idea for years and years and years. And when they get it done, it's almost anticlimactic because they worked on it so long in their head and never made it come to fruition. So when it did, it's almost like they didn't even believe it. But I know for myself, I always have an idea. It says, when does your idea become necessity for you to do? When will it become a necessity for you to do? I heard the song the other day called Time is Winding Up. And it says, and it won't be long, it won't be long. Well, that's not long, meaning for us to always think that we have endless time. I think when we're young, we think we have endless time. And then when we get to middle age, we have still some time. And then when we get older, we say, well, time is winding up. We can actually agree with that. And so I look at my life and I'm always saying I am running out of time. Not to the sense that it's a bad thing, because I believe when it's time, but what do I do with this time? How do I make it worthy, not just for myself, but others who love me, know me, work with me, are a part of my life. And for me, I find that I spend my alone time doing things that I love to do, which are write, read, those kinds of things. But I also spend time with friends where I will go to different events. Everybody knows me, I'm a jazz head. I love jazz, so I will go sit out hours, but that's my chill time. Now, sometimes I have a friend that won't let me take work with me because I can, I want to work while I'm out there because I can just listen to music and work. And she was always saying, just rest. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there one day, but I'm not quite there yet. But listen, if you don't do anything else this weekend, conjure up an idea. Maybe after the family, after the food, after everybody's gone. Think about yourself. What else would you like to do that will get you to the point where you can say, I am, as I said, that other woman. I am that other woman, that woman that can become the writer, the poet, the event planner, the teacher, whatever it is that you want to do, but put it forth, not behind. Don't make it so it's behind that you never get to it. There's a lot of people that have left life and they never did anything that they wanted to do. Now, I can say that I haven't been, that kind of woman. I've always had projects that I wanted to do and I'd step out on them. But I still have some I have to complete. So that makes it where I know my work is not done. And I know when I leave this life, there will still be work undone. But I need to make every attempt to leave my mark, let people know that I was here, that I did as much as I could for others and myself in the process of living life. I love you guys. I truly, truly love you. I appreciate it. If you don't do anything else, if you hit like, love, or share, and share, that would really be very important to me. Have a safe holiday weekend. Monday, I will not be here because I feel everybody will be with family and friends and travel or whatever, but I will see you on Wednesday of next week. We will have a good time again with another word. Take care of yourself. Conjure up some ideas, okay? Just for you. They're yours. Own them. Work in them. Do them. See them to their completion. I love you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.